As you might know, I did a big video talking about everything that will be happening for Assassin's Creed in 2026, and back then that was a very ambitious plan, but of course things have significantly changed now that Ubisoft announced a big so-called reset. So in this video I want to talk about everything that changed, what it means for the content we can actually expect in 2026, because I think it will have impacted the Assassin's Creed Shadows post-launch as well. So, a ton to go over. So, to quickly recap, they of course announced a major company reset. They canned 6 games, delayed 7, and also closed 2 studios. And there will sadly be more layoffs coming as well on February 12th during their investor call. So, of course, one of the games that was cancelled is the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. 5 other unannounced games as well. And in addition, Ubisoft said that it delayed 7 games to ensure they meet quality expectations. It did not say which games had slipped, but confirmed that the 7 titles include one title that was planned for release before April 2026, which will now be released before April 2027. And yeah, as you might know, that was the unannounced title here. This was the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. It was supposed to come out March 19th, was the rumored release date, but now it will be launching somewhere before April 2027. Now, I totally think that it means that it will still launch in 2026. They were very close to being done, but are now giving more time to the game, which I think is actually good. I hope it means that they might even include more content than they originally planned, because I think it will now launch October 2026, the typical Assassin's Creed release period, right? The end of the year. So then they out of nowhere have 7 extra months. I think that's very good news for the project, even though it means that we of course have to wait a bit longer. But we already learned that they were really coming in hot and were like getting developers from other Assassin's Creed teams to help them get the game across the finish line to hit that deadline. So I think it's good overall that they get more time. But yeah, that does mean that the title that we know was first planned for October 2026. I mean, we had many leaks about it. Ubisoft hinted at it as well. Assassin's Creed Hexe. That game got now delayed to somewhere between April 2027 and March 2028. So that will likely be the Halloween October 2027 game. Or maybe they launched in November, which would be the 20th anniversary of the franchise. On one hand, it might not be the best title for the 20th anniversary, because they are trying a new type of Assassin's Creed game. On the other hand, it is Ubisoft Montreal, and they are known to include a lot of core Assassin's Creed like pillars into these games, more so than Quebec. So with rumors like indicating that maybe Ezio will be in the game, like, that would of course be perfect for an anniversary celebration. So while I first thought we would see Assassin's Creed Hexe at a Ubisoft Forward in June, I now doubt that there will be a Ubisoft Forward in June. So they will likely be very quiet, and then maybe during Gamescom reveal the Black Flag remake, and then we get to play it in October. But in the meantime, we get some Assassin's Creed Shadows updates. Although, I would not be surprised if that has been delayed as well, because we have Assassin's Creed Shadows files that seem to reveal the name of the Black Flag remake. Like, there were in the game files references to Obsidian, which was the codename for the Black Flag remake, and that there would be like a crossover mission and maybe even a pirate helix pack. But I really think that the people that were working on Shadows heard at the same time as everyone else that the Black Flag remake was not going to happen in March anymore. So we know that for 2026, their roadmap will be very different. They will have more sizable updates, but they will release less frequent than every month, as we saw in 2025. So I would not be surprised if the next big update for Shadows was supposed to be a Black Flag crossover update. But now, because the Black Flag remake was delayed, that update will likely also be delayed until maybe Gamescom or October, when the Black Flag remake is now coming out. So that could have a huge impact on the Shadows plan. Maybe they already recorded a post-launch video where they were teasing the Black Flag content or talking about it. Well, they cannot use that anymore. So unless there's something else for Shadows that they were working on that is almost finished, that they can then bring forward and delay the Black Flag stuff, I think it means that we will likely have to wait longer for a new Shadows update, including the roadmap video that I otherwise thought we would get maybe early February. Now we also have this article talking about the Claws of Awaji DLC that was targeting a September release. This was in May, and yeah, that turned out to be correct. What this article was also saying is that there is an upcoming co-op mode, currently codenamed League, in development and intended to release sometime next year, so that's 2026. So while they're obviously central characters, there's a deeper narrative tied into the co-op that will expand the experience beyond just two of them. So you will be able to play as more than just Naue and Yasuke. I would argue, I think Naue and Yasuke will not be playable in the co-op mode, and it will just be new characters that maybe use some of the abilities from Naue and Yasuke. But yeah, if the co-op mode is closer to being done, maybe that is the next update we will see, because I think it was planned for 2025 at the end of the year. But yeah, everything got, of course, pushed. So we're now also seeing other Black Flag marketing stuff leak, like a statue they wanted to release. This will likely also be pushed, but just like with Assassin's Creed Shadows, there were a lot of promotions for Red Bull cans and stuff that would still just go live in November, even though they delayed the game out of November. There's so many moving parts also with this statue that, again, the delay happened very last minute, so we will likely see more marketing material or other sort of merchandise that they got planned for the Black Flag remake that will still appear or leak online, even though they might not launch in March anymore. So I think everything in the Assassin's Creed pipeline got affected with the Ubisoft big reset. I also think Invictus will now not launch in 2026 anymore. That's the small PvP game. I never thought that would happen, by the way, but now it's certainly not going to happen. The only game that I can see not being affected by this is Assassin's Creed Jade, because this is being made by Tencent, Level Infinite, in-house. And maybe they now see an opportunity for that to get a bigger spotlight on it. We knew back in August 2023 that the game was close to being finished. So 3 years later, again, I can see this game suddenly show up and ready for launch while all the other Assassin's Creed stuff is delayed. And I think that would be in Ubisoft's best interest to do it, because only having the Shadows post-launch and then a Black Flag remake at the end of the year, it's not really amazing. It's they need more stuff to kind of go in the green. And another nice thing we might see in 2026 is Unity getting 60 FPS. So we just had the Far Cry games getting the 60 FPS update. Now all the Far Cry games have a 60 FPS patch. They just did it for 3, Blood Dragon, and Primal. Syndicate, of course, got a 60 FPS update already. And now we have Tom Henderson basically saying that that team that worked on the Far Cry updates is now moving over to adding 60 FPS to Unity, which would be really awesome. I don't think they will do it for Black Flag, because that's, of course, one of the many, hopefully, unique features that the Black Flag remake will have. A 60 FPS option, of course, on PS5 and Xbox Series. But yeah, let me know what you think of all this. I'll, of course, keep you up to date here. Although, again, I'm not expecting a Shadows update anytime soon. But that will be the first sort of new content for Assassin's Creed that I think we will get in 2026. So subscribe. I will keep you up to date here. Leave a like and totally check out this video if you want to learn more about Ubisoft's current situation. And I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.